Hey everybody, good morning and thank you for joining us here today on My EdTech Live. I am your host, Alfonso Mendoza, and today we have a very special guest. We have Stephanie Lyons here who's joining us from Merge EDU. And if you don't know you don't know what Merge EDU does or are familiar with their platform, you are in with a treat, especially if you'd love to start implementing some augmented reality into your lessons, into your classes. And they offer a wonderful platform that is definitely hands-on, and it adds additional layers to any of the lessons that we as teachers or educators in the classroom already do so well. So I am excited to have Stephanie here, and I'm going to have her introduce herself a little bit and give you a little bit of a background, and then we'll definitely dive in because she definitely has a lot of great information for every educator or even non-educators that are interested in AR, VR, and EDU. So Stephanie, welcome. Go ahead and introduce yourself to everybody.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for that introduction, Alfonso, and thank you so much for inviting me to be here this morning with you. Hi, everybody. I'm Stephanie Lyons. You can find me on Twitter at Steph_Lyons_. And I'm the community manager at Merge. So that means I get to work with all of our educator partners on integrating our AR/VR technology and platform into their classrooms, into their lessons. If you're presenting about Merge at an event, I'm the person that you'll talk to. I'm happy to arm you with everything you would need to be successful for that. I work with activity plan writers to write activity plans so that you can integrate it more easily into your classroom. And I just love what I do. I'm so excited that I get to do this and so excited to share more with you today.
Excellent. Well, I'm thankful, like I said, that you're here, and we just had a great conversation right now backstage, and just seeing, especially right now during this time of remote learning, as teachers are trying to hone in their digital skills. I mean, a lot of teachers have really had to just flip a switch and just really get out of their comfort zone as far as our regular pedagogy that we normally would be used to in the classroom, and now we're just kind of picking that up and remote teaching, and what is this, and how are we meeting with students, and so on. So this has been I know it's been a trying time, but it's also been a wonderful time that I've seen so many educators just grow professionally and just really lose that fear of the tech and just feeling more comfortable. So I'm hoping also that after today and everything that you're going to share with us, they'll also be able to see what Merge EDU has to offer. And going back to the conversation that we just had, just adding that additional layer, that visual layer, that kinesthetic layer to the lessons that students can still do at home and still meet, the criteria and the objectives and the TEKs that they have to cover. So I'm really, really excited. And I know you're going to be sharing your screen with us. So whenever you're ready, Steph, go ahead and share away. And again, I'll be moderating the chat. Guys that are joining us, if you have any questions, throw your questions out at us, comments. We'll be more than happy to answer. Again, this is a very special show, again, with Merge EDU. So bring on your questions. Steph, the floor is yours. Thank you again for being here.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And before I share my presentation, I just want to speak to what you said about, educators who didn't necessarily use technology every single moment of every day in their lessons, right? Having to flip that switch and go to remote learning, I can't even imagine what that must have been like as an educator. So my own kids do an online school program. It's a brand new program that we just started trying this year, and it worked out really well for multiple reasons. But all of the onboarding that they did in the summer before they started the school year, having to learn the technology, and this is even before classes started, right? And these educators who are teaching with that have been teaching with it. They already knew the tools, they've already used the tools, right? And so just for so many educators, I mean, you are amazing. Like, you guys are rock stars for doing that, for having to do it, but then being able to do it and rising to the occasion. So I just had to speak to that because it's just amazing.
Awesome, I agree.
So hopefully, by the end of the school year, you were more comfortable using the technology with your kids, whether it was Google Classroom or sharing your screen, sharing your video. Oh, hey, Dr. Harps, I know that face. But what I want to share with you today, no matter what your school looks like in the fall, whether it's remote learning fully or hybrid learning, or you're just back in the classroom and maybe asynchronous learning, or just fully back in the classroom like regular, you can use Merge, and you can get started using it for free. And so most of the things that I'm going to show you in the beginning of the presentation is just how to get started, very low barrier to entry. And then at the very end, I'll show you just one slide about how you might use it in a bigger way in your school, like a classroom, whole school sort of thing. But without further ado, I will share my screen, and I've never done it using this software before, so I'm just gonna...
It's okay. Just click share screen and select, and you're ready to go.
Perfect. Yep, very straightforward. Okay, so can you see this Merge presentation here?
There you go.
Perfect. Okay, great. So Merge, who is Merge? What do we do? So really our mission here at Merge is to kind of harness that positive potential that spatial computing has in the education field, right? So AR and VR, we want to make it fun, we want to make it engaging, we want to make it safe, and we want to put it in the hands of every student, no matter where they are geographically, no matter where their school district is located, no matter where they're living. We want to just share these tools for students no matter where they are, because we're growing up in a digital world, right? You can't even go to the doctor these days without having to sign in on an iPad. Everything we do has some level or layer of technology to it. And so what we're doing is we're putting some of the most innovative technology into the hands of students who are as young as 5 and 6 years old. So we're super excited to be able to do that. And this is how we do it. So Merge EDU is our platform specifically built for education. One of the apps is Science Standards Aligned. So it's actually aligned with NGSS standards, and we've got a rubric that aligns it with every state in the US, various places in Canada, the UK, Australia, and that list is growing. And so, any educator who wants to use it and needs to show that, specific science curriculum alignment, we've got a rubric for that we can share. So what do students do with it? Well, they can hold and interact with science lessons, science simulations, 3D models, 3D models that they created, 3D models that we already have pre-created. And then we have a lot of fun and engaging activities they can follow along with in the form of just inside the app itself. And then we have activity plans that can go along with that as well. And so, I think I just stopped sharing. Hold on. Technology, huh? Okay, can you see that?
Yes, you're good.
Sorry. Okay, so you just go to mergeedu.com to learn more. And we will be updating our website again at some point towards the end of summer. So, just keep that in mind. Okay, so Merge EDU platform. What is in the Merge EDU platform? Well, first, the Merge Cube, right? I've got several here, and they're soft, squishy foam cubes with basically AR markers on every side. What the Merge Cube allows students to do is to literally hold any 3D object, whether they created it themselves or whether it's already in our library in Object Viewer. It enhances engagement. It just really, with the multisensory learning, students can touch it, just like we were talking about. They can turn it around. It's the feeling, it's the, they're looking at it, they're really interacting with it. And it helps students remember. It's more impactful learning, and it gets them engaged. And I have a little, preview of what's to come. So at the bottom of this screen here, if you don't have access to a Merge Cube, if you don't want to buy one, you can buy them on Amazon, on our website, lots of places. You can just go to mergecube.com/paper, and you can print one at home, literally right now. So feel free to do that as you're listening, but I'll have more information about that in a future slide. Okay, so Merge EDU platform, it's the Merge Cube, and it's these two main apps. So our Merge Explorer and Object Viewer apps are privacy safe. I guess you could say they're GDPR compliant, COQA compliant. Even without interacting with Merge on an education license level, even if these are just students wanting to download these apps at home and you want to share it with them in that way for remote learning, they can download them right now for free, and they are privacy safe. So Merge Explorer is that science standards aligned app that lets students hold science simulations, interact with different science concepts. And then Object Viewer, you can see here, we've got this COVID-19 virus that you can hold and touch safely, as well as hundreds of other 3D models. And then with Object Viewer, you can also upload your own. And we'll talk a little bit more. I'll show you a little bit more about that in a minute. So Merge EDU platform is Merge Cube and then these two apps. And then if you were to engage with us on more of a classroom or school level, you would get access to a teacher dashboard. You'd be able to track your students' progress. You could see their objects that they've uploaded. So we have a really wonderful back end for official use in the classroom. But just to get started, you can just download these apps. Okay, so here's a video I recorded. I just recorded my screen. I just recorded this on my iPhone using the screen recording feature. So this is Merge Explorer. And so inside of Merge Explorer, before we go on, it's broken down into different topic cards. You can see there's an NGSS title there, like life cycles and traits or weather and climate. And then, so these are each topic cards. And within each topic card, there's multiple activities that you can look at. And I've recorded a few here. So I think, so here's the categories. Ooh, oh my goodness, too fast. Okay, I'm gonna stop because you asked me earlier, you said, what languages are so important? And so here we go. I'm just gonna pause on this screen real quick. So Merge Explorer is in 10 different languages right now. And then we're actually going to add to this list in the future as well. So if you have ESL students or maybe even a foreign language class, you want to partner with your science teacher, you can choose from any of these languages.
And I think this is such a great thing. When I saw this update come up, I figured this is amazing because like you said, we definitely want to offer supports to all students straight across. And even if they may need it, even if they may not, at least it's there. And then they can go ahead and maybe if it's just an English speaker that would like to learn some Spanish, they can go ahead and do that too as well. So I think that that's something that's very innovative and a great touch, for, again, accessibility. Thank you, Steph.
Absolutely, thank you. And I'm glad you interrupted. Feel free to interrupt me. All right, so we'll keep going here. Okay, so this one is the food web. So if you notice the format, it's pretty much the same no matter what topic card you go into. There's always an introduction, there's always some text. And then on the actual AR interaction, there's these tools at the bottom, kind of different settings, interactions. Usually there's some instructions. So this one says use the buttons to help the plants grow. There's a stamping feature, so you can actually stamp and then delete the 3D objects that you stamped in the space. And this is it's such a great hands-on way for students to be able to get up close with things that they might not be able to otherwise. So when we're learning about the food web or the food chain, we can hold a caterpillar and watch it eat, the producer, watch it eat that leaf.
And so I wanted to add to that stuff because this is part of the little conversation we had in the back. And this is the particular lesson that I actually used the Merge Cube with when I had to go do some science interventions. And it was wonderful because oftentimes, when we're in the classroom, we either see something just very flat on our screen or we see a flat worksheet. And like you said here, we've got that tactile. We can hold something in our hand, even though it's the Merge Cube, but you're seeing here, you're rotating things around, you're seeing those things right before you, stamping them, which adds that additional layer that sometimes students don't make that connection with. And like we were talking about cells, that they think that they're flat, they have no volume, no dimension. But now when they get to see that, it really just sparks that connection with, hey, there is some depth in there. This is different. It's not just flat like the way we color it in class.
Yep, exactly. Yes, and I love books. I was actually, in another life, I was a high school English teacher. So I understand the value of books, and we're not trying to say, out with the old and with the new. This is just an additional way to augment those lessons, to really engage the students on a deeper level and to get them excited, really get them excited about what they're learning. And so I just recorded a few of these topic cards here just to give people who've maybe never seen Merge Explorer before a really great sampling of everything that's available. And this is really cool too. So as you can see, we were doing rock history of the Earth. We're seeing those strata layers, and now we can actually see Pangea split apart into, what are today's continents. So it's just such a powerful way to let students see that, and then they control it. There's a little slider at the bottom where they actually can control it. And this is the last one. I'll let it play through. And again, for educators who've never used this before, it's K through 8th grade. So depending on where you are in the world, that's primary through intermediate grades. Here we can watch ice melt into water, and then evaporate into steam, and then we can do that both ways, right? That's reversible change.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's great too, that you said the students have control over this as well. As they watch, they can go through the steps, mm-hmm. go back in reverse order, and you're making that connection again visually. That's one of the things that I love the most, as many students are now visual learners, but the kinesthetic learning as well, as they get to move around, and they get the auditory as well, because what I love is that every card can be read to the students through immersive reader. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely. And I actually have an immersive reader slide in a couple of slides away from here.
Awesome.
So immersive reader, we've got two things actually. We have just a little audio button that you can tap, and then everything will be read out loud to you. But then, yes, we even have immersive reader, and that has, I don't know how many languages they have, but pretty much all the languages that can open that text in a new window. It can highlight different parts of speech. Immersive reader is such an amazing tool for students' comprehension and understanding. And then just real quickly before we move on, so this, obviously students can't hold a burning log in their hand safely, but what the Merge Cube allows them to do is do the science simulation that's safe. Right? They don't have to wear a fireproof oven mitten and have the range hood open in science class. They can just hold the Merge Cube, right? And here they can see, well, now this is charcoal and it can't ever be oak wood again. Whereas the ice could reverse and, change states.
Yeah. So Steph, there's a question here. It says, will there be more math lessons in the future?
That is not something that we're going to add to Merge Explorer. However, we've been talking to math teachers. That's one of the things that we've heard is, if you had more math, we would really be extra excited. And so that's definitely something we're considering in the future. But we do have only one math topic card, which is really cool. It does allow students to hold all kinds of different geometric shapes and understand their volume. The length and the width and the height is there, and some more complex geometric shapes as well. But for Merge Explorer, we probably won't add any additional math.
And we have a comment here from Rachel, compatibility with Chromebooks as far as using Merge EDU.
That's such a good question, and such an important question. So unfortunately, Chromebooks don't always have the technology integrated into their hardware to be able to work with the Merge Cube. So we have had some teachers say, it worked with my Chromebook, but most of them it doesn't. The way to try it is to try to download it from the Play Store and then see if it works. But unfortunately, we can't, and this is not our choice. We wish that we could support every single Chromebook because we know it's such a highly used device in education. But unfortunately, not so much. So Android, smartphones, and tablets, as long as it's got the requirements, iOS, and then even Windows 10, like the Surface Go and the Surface Pro, are definitely compatible.
Now, I want to give a quick shout out also to Kim Murphy, because what Kim does is she told, and it was a great tip because we're always looking for devices or things that can be very cheap. And we know sometimes iPads can run, pretty expensive, even for basic or getting a classette. But she just said, hey, there's some like cheaper little Android phones that you can buy like at Best Buy. And you can probably get, 3 phones for the price of an iPad. So you can equip, your classroom with those phones that are compatible with the Merge platform. And so now you've got, for a quarter of the price, maybe you're able to equip one-to-one with your students, and they're able to explore the Merge EDU platform. So I kind of wanted to throw that in because Kim shared that with me at TCA this last year, and I just found it that's such a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kim's amazing. Yes, such a good idea. That's a really good idea. And then, buying used phones. Maybe it's not the newest model, but it's still compatible. So buying those on, Craigslist or other, Facebook Marketplace or wherever you do your secondhand shopping. A lot of times that's available as well. And we've even heard of PTO organizations collecting parents' old smartphones, right? So a lot of times if you upgrade, your old smartphone just goes into a drawer somewhere. Yeah. I know we've got quite the collection. And so there's lots of different ways that even if you don't have that class set of iPads, that you may be able to get some more devices either donated or, as you said, you can find them for really not as much money. And so whoever your decision makers are, just going to them with that, because I'm glad you brought that up, because when it comes to paying for Merge, if you want to go beyond the free stuff, we never think that it's the teacher's responsibility to pay for that. And I know when I was a teacher, I had no idea where funding came from. That wasn't something that I was really thinking about. But there's a process for it. And so, just really be that advocate, learn what the process is, and then ask us for how we can help support that. We're happy to talk to your decision makers. We're eager to share any information that they might need. So we never think that it's a teacher's responsibility to, spend their own money on iPads, for example, or even on a classroom license of Merge EDU. We're not trying to charge teachers. And that's why we want to just offer everything as much as we can for free, so that, you can still try it. Your students can still try it. Awesome. And you're not limited to just the, paid stuff.
And that's wonderful. And that's one of the things that I love about your company and what you've done is you definitely advocates for not only teachers, but to students, because in the end, to me, is if we can get great technology where students can get something like this and learn, in a different way, different modality, because sometimes, we go through state testing, and to me, state testing is really unimodal, but we've got multimodal learners. And so, something like this can make a big difference in the way that the student learns and grasps a concept and actually internalizes a concept. So, and then what you do is just go above and beyond to really help and support our educators to make sure that not only they feel comfortable with the technology and they learn, but in the end, it's going to go into the students' hands, and that's the added benefit. So thank you for that. That's amazing.
Absolutely. Yes. And we're always, if there's ever an educator that needs access to resources, really, you have my Twitter DM or Twitter handle. Just, send me a direct message. If you follow me, I will definitely follow you back. And yeah, we're here to help educators. We're here to support what you do to help your students learn. So thank you. We appreciate that. All right, let's see what's next. And there we go. Okay, so one more slide about Merge Explore. And Alfonso, I'm happy to share this presentation with you. I don't know if you're, whoever's tuning in, if they want access to this, I'm happy to share it. Feel free to take screen grabs of it right now, but if there's a way you can share it, I'm happy to share it. So
yeah, what we can do is maybe just grab the link, or maybe you can share it with me, and then, or we can blast it out. So we'll figure it out.
I can put it online on OneDrive, and just, we can share it that way, so it's not
Perfect.
A text file. Perfect. So just as kind of like a last slide about Merge Explorer, here's just some practical tips of how to get started right now. There's a 2-week free trial for educators at trymerge.com. So if you go to trymerge.com, if you don't already have a Merge account, you'll be asked to sign up for one. And then you'll be asked to sign up for the free trial. So it will unlock everything inside of Merge Explorer for 2 full weeks. There's a way, I know a lot of educators get not confused, but it's because it kind of throws you off. But when you download Merge Explorer from the App Store, like if you're downloading it right now and you open it up, it's going to say 1 week free trial. That 1 week free trial is really for the consumer market. You're special because you're teachers. And so we want to invite you to go to trymerge.com and get an automatically unlocked, 2-week free trial of Merge Explorer without charging your credit card. So the way that the app stores work is if you offer a free trial in the app store in your app, then it will automatically charge your credit card. And we don't want that to happen to you without you knowing. So we want to be fully upfront with that and say, if you go to trymerge.com, it requires no credit card information at all. And you can try everything for 2 weeks. The good thing is right now we've unlocked a lot of additional topic cards for free just because of remote learning, and we want everyone to get to really experience and explore a lot of the other content that's available for free. So feel free to sign up at trymerge.com or just see what's already unlocked. And next, I'm going to show you more about Object Viewer. So again, just recorded this video real quick. Object Viewer is more of a tool that allows you to just hold really any 3D object. So if you or your students created it, if you or your students found it online, like Sketchfab, there's lots of different free 3D object libraries. Or some of our educators have even used apps like Clone to 3D scan objects that you can upload yourself. And so here we go. So when you open up Object Viewer, and my Wi-Fi at home is a little slow, so these are kind of loading slowly. Here we have all of these preloaded objects. So here we have a sedimentary rock. And let me just point out a couple of things. So there's some icons here on the screen. This icon at the top here, that's a record your screen button. So without even needing to use your, on your iPhone or a third-party app on an Android phone to record your screen, here in Object Viewer, you can record your screen, and it also records the audio. So if you want to share it with your students by creating a pre-recorded video like this, it makes it really easy to do that. If a student creates an object and uploads it, they can actually record their screen and verbally talk through, this is my object, this is why I chose it or why I created it, and then it will just save automatically to your photo library on the device, which makes it super easy to share out to things like Flipgrid or Seesaw. So we also have a stamping feature that will allow you to stamp the object in space and then place in world feature as well, where you can actually place it in the world around you. So I'll go ahead and
now, while we're watching this, one of my favorite things here is that I did a thing with Flipgrid, and this is one of the things that I shared that you can record. But what I loved about this is, imagine, you're there with one device, you've got the Merge Cube, you stamp it, now you've got collaboration going on. If you're working in a small group, all the students may have one device, maybe 3 to 1 device, but they get to walk around, they get to observe. And like you said, the advantage here is that they can even record themselves, their observations, giving an explanation, and they get to share their train of thought, because not every learner learns the exact same way. And as teachers, sometimes we're that sage on the stage, and, but students have a different way of interpreting what we say. And this, again, is good too, as a teacher, being able to get that feedback from the video. Then you can see, okay, maybe do I need to kind of explain things a little bit different? Or you can check for understanding and say, okay, I think the students got the concept correct. And then, or they can do some interventions for some students where they still have some misconceptions on a certain item, like, if they're going through sedimentary rocks, things of that sort. So I really, really think that the recording feature that Merge Object Viewer has available is wonderful, and will definitely pay off dividends for teachers.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, that's with technology, right, and with video cameras, and even just us doing this live video together, platforms like Flipgrid too, they really do want to empower that student voice, give students confidence to speak on camera and to share their thinking. And so we just really feel like this record the screen feature is super helpful for that, even though their face may not be on camera. They're still talking you through something complex, and they're still recording their audio, and they can still share it with you in that way. And so, yeah, we just really feel like it's a super strong feature. And these are collections. So I wanted to show the collections. And then as you can see at the bottom here, we've recently updated this. So now in any single collection, you can see the different objects in that one specific collection. So this is our museum collection, where we've got real ancient artifacts from Egypt or Rome, for example. we've got this dinosaur collection here. And what's really cool about these dinosaur collections is these ones are actually animated. So you can upload your own animated 3D objects, and you can also see, some of our preloaded collections have animation as well, which just adds that extra layer of excitement.
Of course. Now, one of the things that I love too is like the scale tool that you're just sharing. And I know what we did for NASA. Like I went to my backyard, I got a rocket, and I just made that rocket as big as I could. And I think that's also great because students can kind of get a perception of saying, okay, well, maybe the rockets aren't as small as I think they are, or how I see them on TV. And when you make that big, again, it's just that visualization really helps really anybody, that are visual learners. So that's a really great tool that I love. Absolutely.
Thank you. Yeah. One more thing about Object Viewer that's really great is if you are a STEM teacher or makerspace teacher and you do 3D printing, the Object Viewer is such a great tool to use so that students can see that 3D object before they send it to print. They can make sure, all of their edges are touching. There's nothing just hanging out in 3D space. And you can share any object as well. So Object Viewer gives you a code once you've uploaded an object that you can share literally with anybody in the world.
So Steph, we have a question here as far as Tinkercad. Is it their compatibility with Tinkercad?
Yes, in fact, there's a slide in the future about Tinkercad.
All right.
It's extra easy because there's actually an export to Merge Cube option in Tinkercad. So yes. Okay, and just like I did with Merge Explorer, we've got this getting started with Object Viewer. Everything that you saw is free to use in Object Viewer. The difference between the paid and the free version of Object Viewer is the number of objects you can upload. So right now, you can upload 5 objects for free, and in the full paid version, you can upload up to 50 objects for free. And one of our newest object libraries that are coming out was actually a Broward Library County partnership with a local museum. They've actually uploaded a bunch of 3D scanned artifacts from a real museum. And so that's, super cool as well. So, Object Viewer works for 3D print previews. If you do scanning with your students, you can scan your own 3D objects and upload them. And then, just a little bit here, the use with Paint 3D, Tinkercad clone, and then Minecraft EDU.
Awesome. So yeah, and that's something that's great too, Steph. I'm sorry, I keep interjecting, but it's just that teacher, that classroom teacher in me just gets so excited with this because oftentimes, depending on where you're working and your demographic area, socioeconomic, a lot of students may not get an opportunity to, maybe even visit a museum. I mean, maybe their local museum, but maybe a museum elsewhere in that same state or even out of state, or just like we were seeing right now with the Egyptians, the Nefertiti and all that stuff that we see there. I mean, this is great where you're bringing these things, these objects, these artifacts into the hands of the students and even us, even as myself as adults, I don't know if I'll ever make it to Egypt to go ahead and see, a statue in real life, but at least I can bring it, hold it in my hand, get an idea and visualize it. So for the students, that would definitely be something that is advantageous. So that is a great thing.
Yes, absolutely. And I love how you said, and hold it in my hand, right? Even if I was to go to the museum, locally, most of those artifacts aren't touchable. You can't touch them, right? They're behind glass, so you can see them. You might be able to walk around them. But the Merge Cube really breaks that barrier and lets you hold it and inspect it from all angles up close. So that's, just another exciting feature there.
Oh, definitely.
Perfect. Okay, so we are officially Microsoft partners, and a couple of the things that we have Microsoft integrations for, as we mentioned earlier, is Immersive Reader. And this GIF or GIF, however you say it, at the top just shows how you can use Immersive Reader using the dashboard. So that's the teacher dashboard. You can also just use it within the app. It just opens another window if you do press that Immersive Reader button. And then Microsoft Teams. So we actually have a Merge EDU app for Teams. So if you are a Microsoft school or if you do use Teams, there's an app for that, which just makes it easier to share and collaborate with students. And here's a couple of tools, right? Microsoft tools. We were discussing before we went live how we went to a show called BET, and that was in London. We did that I think it was January time, right before the whole world shut down. But we were right next to the Microsoft Paint 3D guys in Microsoft's booth. And by the end of the first day, we had attendees coming over to the Microsoft Paint 3D booth, creating an object easily in Paint 3D. And then we were sharing it to the Merge Cube so that they could actually hold what they created. So that was a really exciting thing for them to be able to see. And then Minecraft EDU, we work with another educator, Lanny Watkins. He does a lot of Minecraft EDU work with his students. They create worlds and objects with Minecraft EDU, and then they're able to hold them and share them on the Merge Cube as well. And so inside of Object Viewer, there's a little place that you can enter a code. And so if you wanted to just see some of these codes that were made in Paint 3D or this one that was made in Minecraft EDU, you can just type that in and that object will come up. And okay, so these are unofficial partnerships. So we are good friends with the guys at Wakelet and the team at Flipgrid. And we use Wakelet for so many things right now. So Merge remote learning resources. Our whole library of remote learning resources are found on Wakelet. If you do happen to have, like Kim Murphy is a huge advocate for the headset, and I know you are too, and lots of our other educators as well. We actually have curated Wakelet collections of 360 videos. We've got mixed reality, and then we even have some spotlights of a Merge educator community. I wish I could say everybody's name right now. That they're just such huge advocates, and we're just so humbled and honored that so many amazing, innovative educators like to use Merge. So we have a lot of resources for you on our Merge Wakelet page. So you can see wakelet.com/@merge is where you can find that. And then Flipgrid, like I'd mentioned, you know, the screen recording feature inside of Object Viewer, or you can use your device, your native screen recording feature, or use an app for your device. If you're an Android user, you can record your screen and then easily share it to platforms like Flipgrid. And then this is sort of a newer thing. We have a ton of activity plans for Merge Explorer that we'll be sharing soon. A lot of them are already on our remote learning resource page for free. But every assessment idea has a little place that says record a video and, right? So there's a video activity, whether it's recording your screen or whether it's having a student talk through what they just learned. So those are easily shared to Flipgrid as well.
Awesome. Yeah, and I did put the link into the Merge, the remote learning Wakelet page right now. And so we've got some people sharing that already on Twitter. So that's awesome. So we're definitely excited about that.
Awesome. Yeah, we want to get the word out because you can use this. I mean, this page isn't going away anytime soon. So, you know, download the activity plans, read the tutorials. They're all connected. We've got Wakelet boards upon Wakelet boards. I know Kathy Kursanowski actually was the person that introduced us to Wakelet, and we're just so excited that she did. And she's a big fan of using Wakelet for a lot of other things as well. And so I invite you to check out our Wakelet board, and then also, you know, check it out for how you can use it in your classroom if you've never heard of it. And then lastly here, as I'd mentioned, you can create your own 3D designs in Tinkercad, and then there's literally, you know, it's a send to and then choose Object Viewer for Merge Cube. So there's an export for that right away.
Oh, I love that. There's an export for that. So that's great. You know, that's such a great tagline there. Hey, Merge Cube, there's an export for that. So
right, there we go.
But it really is exciting. I mean, a lot of people, like I said, this is such a great day for you being here and just help introduce so many of our fine educators that are out there that have been curious or maybe dabbling in AR in the classroom a little bit. And then just for you to be able to share a platform that is really intuitive, very easy to follow, that already has great resources built in, and there's an export for that. I mean, what more are you looking for as far as a platform? So I'm definitely very excited, and it really pumps me up because I can definitely see how many educators, after watching this or hearing the podcast later on today, can just get really excited about introducing this new technology, you know, for their students. So it's great.
Thank you so much for saying that. And you know, there's I guess a range of use cases, right? The first one is literally you're downloading a free app, and then you can print a paper Merge Cube, and it's literally that, right?
This is the paper one right here.
resources, right? That doesn't, the teachers that are just saying, you know what, I can print a PDF and I can download an app. That's all you have to do. And really, like you said, it's very intuitive once you open the app and the interactions. But then for once you're comfortable with that, if you're interested in trying the more advanced use cases, then it's available, right? And that's one thing that's really important for us to promote, as well as that it's not hard to get started. And then you can just grow from there.
Yeah, and that's the important part. I think right there, that last statement you said, you can just grow from there. This is a great way to get introduced into a wonderful platform, really dive in, get to know it, but then you just get to grow from there. And as we continue to grow as educators, Merge will continue to grow because they're really great. And Stephanie, I mean, one of the things that I love about what you and Franklin and Brandon and everybody else at Merge is that you are definitely open to feedback and you really listen to educators as far as, what some of the features that may be necessary, what some of the, options, things of that sort. And you really just take that to the drawing board. And that's one of the things that is very important, I think, for educators, that, we feel that we have a voice and we have great companies such as yourself, along with many others that are out there that are always looking for that feedback to continue to grow and to continue to develop their products in such a way that make it a lot easier, more intuitive, and have those tools for the teachers and the students to be able to access very easily. So that's something that's great.
Yeah, awesome. Yep. And that's why we're here, right? That's why we exist. We're here to listen to educators, to support them so that they can support their students, and we can all kind of learn and grow together. So there really is a community for that. Okay, so remote learning, we're finally here. I just have a couple of additional pages for remote learning. So again, you can just go to mergecube.com/paper. It will take you to a Wakelet page where you can watch the longer version of this video here on exactly what you need to do to print out a Merge Cube, tape it or glue it together, and then just download the free apps and get started right away. So again, that's mergecube.com/paper, and you'll have your very own Merge Cube immediately.
Perfect.
Okay, this slide is a little bit more involved, so I'll just kind of talk through it real quick. So if you go to mergeedu.com/remote, you're going to see a page that has a lot of different little card links on it, and a lot of those are for the free topic cards that we have unlocked right now through summertime, including Water and Weather and Rock History of Earth. There are several others. A Frog's Life is unlocked. For those of you who are already Merge users, you know that we always have 3 topic cards unlocked. One's about space, one's about a little human body, and then another one is about sort of like volcanoes and tectonic plate activity. But we've unlocked these additional topic cards, and we have activity plans all the way from kinder through 8th grade for educators to use, and they're specifically written in a way that can be student directed, right? So if I'm a student, I can look at this and I can say, okay, number 1, right? I see my essential questions there, and then I can literally follow step by step. So Merge Explore specifically, you don't need these activity plans. It's, students can just read it, or you can follow along with them, press play to interact, they have more information. But these activity plans were written by educators for educators to take that learning even further. So really deep diving, giving more vocabulary, giving more, context, more feedback. And then there's even assessment options as well. And so this very bottom bullet point, I want to just draw everybody's attention to. We have some video tutorials that you can find online as well on how to share your screen specifically for live lessons. So if you're in a remote learning environment, or you do remote into students, you can use Google Meet, Zoom, Teams, really whatever you're using to connect with your students via video. There is a way for you to just share your one Merge Cube. If they don't have a printer at home, if they don't print their own Merge Cube, you can still share this with them via video or via that live feed. So there's tutorials for that as well. So everything you need is mergeedu.com/remote. And then again, I just want to say I really will follow you back if you DM me, and I can help point you in the right direction for any additional resources that you need.
Awesome. Well, that's wonderful. Today we have a wealth of information. And the other thing, stuff right now that I just pulled up is sometimes maybe it's not often mentioned, but the Merge Miniverse page, I
Yeah.
think that is such a great page too as well. There's a lot of resources for the cube, for the headset, things of that sort. And what I love about it too is that you've got, like you said, that you've got an array of videos and content that students can go ahead and they can pick. Either it's the headset, they can go ahead and watch that. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that link in here, and then that way people can go ahead and check it out too. Oops, check it out as well. That's not the right link. That's the wrong link. But that link, guys, that I just popped in, I am giving away some stickers. So if you'd like a My EdTech Life sticker, go ahead and fill out that form, and then we will go ahead and pick out a winner. But not only that, we will also have some winners of some Merge cubes, thanks to Steph and Merge also. So fill out that form, and then that way you can go ahead and be selected a winner, and you will get a limited edition My EdTech Life sticker along with your very own Merge cube. So I'm thankful that Steph is not only here to just share the wonderful platform that Merge has available, but also, like we said, and like I've shared with anybody, Merge is definitely here, and they always advocate for students and teachers. They're great at listening. They give you some great feedback, and they're always there just to provide support. And they're not kidding that if you DM them, they will reply and they'll get you the answers that you need, or they'll direct you to get the help that you need as far as getting started with Merge. So I'm thankful for Steph for joining us here today on this wonderful show with Merge. And it's always a pleasure to see you guys at several conferences. I got to see you guys face to face, meet in real life, this last year at TCEA, and got to meet Franklin and you and Brandon, of course. And, obviously Jamie Donnelly, Ambassador, Rochelle, Kim, myself, and other ambassadors that are here always to serve you. So if you have any questions, guys, feel free to reach out to me as well, and I'll be more than happy to assist you and help you out on how to get started with Merge. And I tell you that, during our STEM camps in the summer, for me, AR, VR is a big thing, and the Merge cubes have been a great tool for us to be able to introduce augmented reality and learning at the same time during our STEM camps. So it's not just a gimmick, it is real. This is something that can definitely add that additional layer to your students' education as well. So I'm very thankful for that.
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. My goodness. You, Kim Murphy, Jamie Donnelly, Rochelle, Michael Furcano. There's so many Merge ambassadors and Merge educators that are such an inspiration, right? You guys have gone above and beyond, and just in sharing everything, sharing resources. And so, yeah, you guys are such a great resource for other educators who are maybe interested in, you can tell them, well, this is how I used it, right? And that's what I love about talking to educators too, is that you have that very practical application, like, oh yeah, I just did this last week, right? And this is how it went. And, really being a resource for other educators who are looking to get started. So thank you. I know we're running a little bit out of time.
Oh no, it's okay, Steph. We've got some time. So anything else that you'd like to add? Like I said, the show is yours, and I know that we've shared so much information that is great for all our educators. So anything else you'd like to add is definitely a bonus, and welcome us, here on our show definitely.
Thank you. Yeah, I think there's just a few more slides.
Sure.
I'll go over them real briefly. And again, if you're just joining, I will share this presentation with Alfonso, and he'll find a way to share it out for you. So, feel free to take screen grabs, but you can get the full presentation as well. So, as we had talked about, I shared how, I screen recorded when I recorded the Merge Explorer and Object Viewer videos. Literally, it should be on your settings. And then, you just, like right here, here's a little screen recording feature. So I'm an iOS user for my smartphone, and you literally can just press the screen record button. And then if you hold it down, a little audio icon will show up, and you can click audio as well. So if you want to record your screen and talk through some things with your students, you can do that. I know Android devices, I think some of them have it native, just like iOS does, but if it doesn't, there's an app for that. So good thing there's an app, all around. So, if you don't want to share live via, with your students, then you can always record your screen and then share it with them via video. So it's definitely available. And then so this slide gets me really excited. And last night I was looking through my presentation to prepare for today, and I thought, oh my gosh, I could add 5 more slides like this one. And so one of the really cool things that we've been excited to see is that the Merge Cube is being used in universities, in medical training. Fortune 500 companies have actually picked up the Merge Cube and said, we can do something with this. So even though, it's foam and it's got some kind of, spacey graphics on it, it's a serious tool. And so I'll just tell you briefly what this project is. So Simi Medical is a technology startup, and what they are studying and using the Merge Cube for is medical students. So they created an app where they used the HoloLens and the Merge Cube to teach students information about the human body. So they were one group, and then the other group actually used cadavers in a lab setting, right? So one group of students used the Merge Cube and the HoloLens with their app, and then another group of students actually studied using human cadavers, and then they gave them a test. And here was such a cool thing, is that there was no difference in test scores between the groups. So the students who are, medical students at the University of California in San Francisco got the same grades using the Merge Cube and a HoloLens and an app as the students who used actual real human cadavers. And so I think that has huge implications for just how impactful and powerful learning is using augmented reality, especially augmented reality that you can hold and manipulate and interact with. So, you can read the full article if you want to see this presentation, but this is just one of many use cases where it's really being used, not just in, kinder through 8th grade. It's being used all over the world in so many different ways. So you can be confident that your students are going to get more out of this than just learning about reversible change, right? It's really an impactful tool that will continue developing, and that as they grow older and they, are getting future ready, right, ready for their careers, ready for the world of the future, they'll have already used this as elementary school students. And that's one thing that we're really excited about to share as well.
Yeah. And I think, like you said, it's just the future of work. I mean, virtual spaces. I mean, right now we're meeting remotely through Meet, Teams, or any of the other platforms, but there are groups that are out there that are meeting, in virtual rooms, and there's a lot of platforms that allow for that. So like you said, I think it's very important that we bring these tools to our students at a young age so they can get very familiar with them, start developing their skills, because we don't know what the future is going to bring. I mean, notice how we kind of had to really adjust during this time of remote learning and distance learning, and who knows what will happen next. But, these tools are not just for the classroom, not just for today, but they'll develop those skills for tomorrow. And I think that's a great comment that you added there, Steph. That's wonderful.
Awesome. Well, we will be sharing more information just like this one, other stories of amazing ways that universities are using it in other companies. So definitely follow us on social media so you can kind of stay up to date on all of the ways that other people are using it in other industries. It's super cool.
Excellent. Well, Steph, that's pretty much our show for today. Thank you so much again to you, to Franklin, to Brandon, and the whole Merge company, Merge EDU, what you guys are doing for education. And it was an extremely wonderful presentation today, just being able to see the depth of what Merge EDU offers as far as education resources for our teachers, just how easy it is to get started, to get introduced into it, and then bring it into the hands of our students as well. It's always a pleasure to get to hang out with you guys, and just keep up the great work. Thank you for everything you do. And Steph, anything else that you'd like to add? Any parting words? Anything? Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me to be able to share. It's always a pleasure to see you and to get to chat with you. And just super excited for the opportunity to talk to everybody that's joined in today. Thank you so much for joining. And again, just follow us on social, follow me specifically if you have any questions, and I'll be sharing the link out for this presentation if you would like to see it.
Excellent. Yes. And then so once I get that presentation, guys, I did put the link in there to the form. So not only will you get the presentation if you get me your email address or maybe a way to contact you, but you could also be a winner of a Merge Cube straight from Merge. Steph will even, she'll even personalize it. She'll sign it for you. And then you'll also get a My EdTech Life sticker. So again, thank you guys for being here today. It was just a pleasure. Again, always talking tech with some great innovative companies that really listen to our teachers, and then just getting to share that with you is always wonderful. So guys, don't forget, today is a wonderful Saturday. In a couple of minutes, I will also have another show going live, and we're going to be talking about badged tech. And so this is going to be a great show too, as well as Rachel, who is here joining us. It was also very excited to go ahead and see the Merge presentation and stuff. So hopefully you two can make that connection, because there are some things that are coming up. I'm not going to say too much, but some things that you two can definitely discuss. So it was great to have both of you here, and now you can go ahead and make that connection. So Steph, thank you. Thank you everybody for checking us out this morning and making us part of your day. Hopefully what you've listened to today was something that was to your liking and gets you really excited and pumped up about what education is now, the direction that education is going into, and the platforms that Merge, I should say, not we, but Merge has to offer. So it is great. And if you like our content, go ahead and subscribe to our channel, and we'll definitely be putting on some great shows. We have some great guests lined up. So if you like what you saw today, stick around for a couple of minutes later for the next show. And the weeks coming afterwards will also be jam-packed full of some amazing guests that will definitely help you take your practice to a whole other level. So I'm really excited. So thank you guys for joining us here on My EdTech Live. All right, guys. So thank you very much, and we'll see you all in a while.